Morning, guys. Welcome back. Yeah, so sorry there weren't any videos over the weekend. I've been stacked out busy, but I hope you're all buzzing. Still absolutely fire from yesterday. I'm going to be honest, I didn't watch the match because I was playing a charity match, which I broke a rib in. So I kind of caught up on highlights last night, and yeah, well done, boys. I did say, didn't I? If we was going to win, it's going to be 2-1. But yeah, it was either a 3-0 battering or a 2-1 win to Man United, and the boys did it. And, Mbue's strike was special, man. From that angle, special. Reminds you a little bit of like how Salah gets his shots away. And then Maguire's header for the end, like, wow, wow. And you know what? Like, sorry, first time for a while we've not let our head drop when we've conceded a goal so late in the game. So I'm going to say well done to Man United for that because yeah, it was really 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 it wasn't the easiest game for him. So I'm playing Liverpool at Anfield. The stats are always going to go in Liverpool's favour. They had 2.7 xg, we had 1.2 overall possession. We only had 36.5%. They had 52 touches in our opponent in our box. We had 16 in theirs. You know, so if anybody plays Football Manager, they literally got FM'd by Man United. But just resilience and hard work, boys. Like apart from Delo, which I told you he'd start because Amorim always starts him, absolutely driving me bonkers. He does. But yeah, obviously we had Delo on the left and Diallo on the right, which I'm happy about. Obviously kept Sesko off from on the bench with Mount, which I think Mount had an average game. But Cunha, every time he picked up the ball, like wow, he was just absolutely. It looked like the old Cunha that was at Wolves. Like he was just being a right pain. Yeah, and obviously Bruno looked shattered, but my God, that ball, like me or you, we would have stopped that. 99.9% of people in this world would not have played that back in first time like he did. Like mental, mate. And with doing that, Liverpool had no time to reset. They all pushed out for the offside trap, expecting Bruno to take a touch, get closed down, give him chance to reset, and he just hooked it in. And we had three players at the back post. We had Lit, Maguire, and Dorgu, which I believe Dorgu should have started over Dela. But they're all there at the back post, three of them, like just lining up for a header because he didn't give them chance. And that pass, the composure, when the ball's dropping out the air at that, for him just to go, dink. Like, don't get me wrong, many people could probably give it a dink. But to put it back on Maguire's head, or one of them just to run in, mate, that is world class. Like, that's like Tony Cruz kind of level confidence and passing. Like, and Bruno's got that in him. He is one of the best number 10s in the game. He should never be playing a number 8 role. But, you know, as far as I see it, Bruno and Mount should be swapping. That's the way it should be. But I think he put Bruno there because of his work rate. But yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not like I'm not sat here like thinking, oh, we're amazing. We're only like 3 points off them now. Is that right? We're in ninth place, but we're 2 points off third place, which is Bournemouth and Liverpool. After 8 games, is it? Was that 8? Yeah, after 8 games. So he managed to win 4, lost 3, won 1, drawn 1. So, I mean, we'll take that. Back-to-back wins. Like, come on, boys, let's have it. But hopefully we can build on this now. You know, like I say, Liverpool at the bar, at the post, Le Mans. Even though they did that, he still looked like a commanding goalkeeper. And I'm not going to say he's going to be the best goalkeeper in the world, but I believe him just being there is give the defence so much more stability and belief. I mean, I think our defence, player rating wise, sorry, just gonna try find that because when I looked earlier, I, I was like blown away. Is that? Yeah, I think player. No, winner. But I'm pretty sure. Obviously, Maguire's nicked it with an 8. Yeah, we'll talk about the head injury in a minute as well. Where did I see play ratings? Oh, sorry guys, I'm absolutely shattered today. I feel worn out. Got a broken rib. I can hardly walk. I'm not built for running anymore, but I love a good competitive footy match. So yeah, I got stuck in. I've had a bad chest. Like, come on. But these are the things you do, innit? These are the things that you do for the love of life. So yeah, I thought the player stats were there, so I apologise. Yeah, but you know they they did outplay us at times, and that's okay because they're allowed to do that. It's Liverpool. You're expecting them to do that. I think Yoro when he came on, superb. Why he isn't starting, I'm not sure. Agate still not looking quite sharp enough for me. Yeah, he brought Manu on late again, and then Dogu. I mean, come on, when we all said the team sheet, everybody was a bit like, but he went for experience, I think, and then used the energy later to kill the game off, which worked out on this occasion. You know, we got one over on Liverpool. That's what 4 games I've lost now. But I bet the press aren't fucking talking about that this morning. Whereas I bet all media was silent last night. Nobody's giving Liverpool crap, are there? No, not like they do United. Like, come on, boys, piss off. Might start my own media's bloody network just to give them shit. Because we get no end of crap. If we'd have lost that game yesterday, everything would have been hammering out. Everything. Which is bang out of order. The kid deserves a bit of time, a bit of patience. He's working with a mixture of new and old players, trying to adapt to a system that we don't play. Like, yeah, he could quite easily just say, "Oh, I'm going to play 4-4-2 and whoop whoop." But he believes in this system, you know, and I think as a fan base, if we want to move forward, we have to believe in the system as well. And it's not about the system. They prove it. They've just beat Liverpool with less possession, less chances created, just by sheer hard work. And that's all he's asking. Just bloody work hard. You know what I mean? Like, just week in, week out. But this is Man United in a nutshell, isn't it? We work hard, we score some goals, we play well against the top teams, and then we go away, we play bottom of the table, and draw or lose. Um, the life of a Man United fan. But yeah, so I've Yoro is definitely, he's going to be a massive part of Man United's future. The kid looks amazing. Like every time he plays football, he's going to make mistakes. He's young, but every time he makes football, he truly looks amazing. Sorry. Yeah. So I don't know. I was in a bit of shock last night. I was absolutely shattered. We at the pub with bloody, you know, charity football event, doing some bingo and some raffle, kind of keeping an eye on the last like 10 minutes. Trying not to be rude. Um, and then yeah, like what a win, boys. So you can't. What's that? First win at Anfield for I don't even know how many years it is. Is it like 10 years or something? Like it's a big moment, especially considering they've spent 450 mil to strengthen their squad this season, and we're spending 200 mil to try, but just to try put some more quality in our side. Um, you know, no goal from Mo Salah again, no assist or goal from Verts. Yeah, we played brilliantly, and as much as you know we can look at it and say Liverpool were the better side statistically, we know that's not how the Premier League always works. So, um, yeah, I mean, they had 19 shots to our 12. Fair dues. Keeper saves, they had two, we had five. Fouls committed, 14. You're always going to get that. But distance covered, well, I did see this. We had slightly more distance covered than them. Yeah, so they had 109 kilometers and we had 112. So we matched them for running and distance covered. Yeah, I'm just so chuffed for him, and that you could see in Amorim's press conference he was beaming, like and he even jokingly said he needed that win. He's not got many wins as Manchester United manager, and I think he'll do his confidence a world of good, and I think he needs that. Like no Manchester United manager that's ever been successful, as in long term, has had an easy start. And when he came in last season, and then we was in the final of the Europa League, we all believed that when Man United will win that, and we'll get a reset in the summer because we'll be in the Champions League. And it didn't happen. It was the worst final I've ever watched, and probably anybody will ever watch ever again. And it just felt like from that point everything's kind of like crumbled. Players have lost wages because we're not in the Champions League. Players have left, players have come. We're in the midst of a complete and utter transformation within inside Manchester United. So we just got to live it out and enjoy the highs, and not get too stressed at the lows. Like a couple of games ago, we were practically fighting for relegation. People were saying, especially like media. Amorim's the worst manager ever. Blah blah blah. Nothing last night. Nothing. But being Manchester United fans, they'll now be like, "Oh, we can win the league." Well, yeah, theoretically, most teams have got a shot of winning the league. But I just want to see some consistency now. And I think consistency now is the biggest key that Manchester United need. And I'm not saying like going on a 5, 6, 7, 8 game win streak. But what I'm saying is keeping it going to where we're playing our football and squeaking out a draw, a win here. The odd defeats, we're not always going to win them all. We're like I say, we're in that transition period, but we need some consistency. the defence looks better with Lemans behind him, and Lemans is just doing the right things at the right times. So I think his save in the first half was probably game defining. Like, he's just doing the odd little thing here and there, which is massive in the context of a football game. And we hadn't had that for a little while. De Gea did it for us all the time. Like, his shot stopping was unbelievable. Like, and we never valued that, I don't think, until he left. His decision making was second to none 99% of the time. His positioning was unbelievable. Now you look at it and think, we've just had a couple of years with Onana, and you're like, shit, what happened? You know what I mean? Well, actually, the most important thing from a goalkeeper is fucking saving them shots. Don't matter how good your feet are, mate. And that's one thing you can say with Onana. His passing was brilliant. But if you're not stopping goals going in, you're not doing your job. If you're not doing your job, you're not helping the team. If you're not helping the team, get the fuck out of here. But yeah, I'm buzzing inside. I just wish I could cough without it be reverting. So yeah, I mean, absolutely out of this world. Bruno's pass, like, I don't think he had the most amazing game, but his pass was next level. Honestly, I was like, when I watched that pass, I was unbelievable. What a pass! Like, I just couldn't believe how he took it and bumped it back in. Yeah, Maguire scoring. Let's have a minute about Slabhead getting a goal. Like, how many times does he do this for Man United? The kid's been through hell, through our own fans as well. And I'm not going to sit here and say I haven't said hope. We've all had an opinion on Harry Maguire over the years, as I think everybody will agree that at times he struggled, other times he thrived. We bought him as a massive £80 million investment, and truthfully, I don't think he was what we bought him for. But what you can't take away from the kid is his heart and desire to want to win a game for Manchester United in the last 10 minutes. Like, come on, boy. And you know what? Like, it would be nice for him to win something, because he's not got long left at United. I think his contract's up at the end of this season. But again, there's been points and moments in these last 2 or 3 years that we've looked down and out, and Harry Maguire's just been like, hold my beer, mate. Like, we're off through to a final. Just, yeah, his heart and desire to do well for the club is what we need through everybody. The fight, the determination. And like I say, last night there was 2 players lined up behind him for that cross back in from Bruno. So, but he just found it, stuck his head on it, and there's a picture of his face when he nuts it, and he's watching it, and he knows, and you can see it in his eyes. And yeah, well done, Harry Maguire. Salute you, sir. Thank you for that. You made a lot of people happy yesterday, and you made a lot of Liverpool fans miserable. So, you Liverpool. And it's nice to have this little bit of gloating, so we will while we can. So yeah, let's just march on, enjoy the buzz, enjoy that happy feeling of getting one over at Anfield, winning at Anfield, beating Liverpool, and just being a Man United fan. Like, we love it. It's a roller coaster. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there, guys. I'm not really going to go into too much news. I was going to go into what Scholes had to say in the Bruno interview, but In fact, yeah, let me touch a little bit on the Bruno interview. If you haven't watched it, it came out on Sky Sports the other day, and I think it just showed his heart and desire for playing for Manchester United. So if you haven't watched it yet, go have a watch. It's on YouTube through Sky Sports. So it's well worth a watch. And let me know in the comments what you guys think to it. That's with Casemiro and Bruno now. So yeah, both quite good interviews, to be fair. And then bugger it, what Paul Scholes said about Man United not being fit enough to compete in this league. I kind of get what he's saying. And Paul Scholes is probably one of the quietest players ever to come out of Manchester United. The guy's never said a word for years. Very little. And now, this last year or so, he started slating the team a little bit. Which, all right, fair dues. Like, he's entitled to an opinion. But I do think all this negativity around us is not helping one bit. It's a massive pressure cooker as it is, being just at United. Like I said, look at the media. We beat Liverpool last night. All silent. No positivity. Nobody saying, anything negative against Liverpool. Like, Van Dijk's one of the worst defenders I've bloody seen in a long time. He has his magic moments and his great interceptions. But he's not the biggest tackler, is he? He's not. He's an interception defender. I think for the Mbue goal, he got dragged out, and then before you know it, Mbuemo, whatever his name is, does my head in. But he got dragged out of position, which helped to create that goal. And it was almost like it was done on the training ground, knowing that he was going to do that. So no, I think with these ex-professionals, like, it's a different era now, boys. Like, you can say what needs to be done. You can say how it was when you was there, but I value your opinion. Obviously, you some of the Manchester United legends. But I think constructive criticism would be better, maybe one-on-one, maybe with the club, rather than trying to earn a buck out of it. We've got Gary Neville, Jamie Carragher, like, giving advice and putting stuff out there in the media when, yeah, Gary Neville's won a few trophies, don't get me wrong, he's a Manchester United legend, but as a coach, as a manager, you're shit, mate. So what gives you the right to fucking put peer pressure on these players? Extra pressure, because that's what it is, it's extra pressure. I think the most composed, best one out of them all, and the most honest one, really, is Rio. He doesn't just say it for likes or feeds or money. I think he just does it for the love of the club. But yeah, I'm going to stop ranting there because that kind of pissing me off a little bit, because these players that have beens in a completely different culture, completely different time, do not have a clue what's going on behind the scenes at Manchester United, and slating them, and then saying we're not fit enough for this league, and then we just go out and outrun Liverpool. So yeah, so do subscribe, guys. Keep in with the channel, keep in with the daily news, where we can. I'm obviously doing this as a bit of a hobby around my day job, so I appreciate any feedback, any likes, any comments, and any shares. So yeah, if you wanted to know, we did win the charity match yesterday as well. So big up, Rod. But yeah, love you all. See you later. See you in the next one.